Hey viewers, welcome to another game with the Casual Pro Gamer. Today we are doing another StarCraft 2 1 versus 1 between mTwDIMAGA, which is normally just DIMAGA, and MarineKing. So as you can see, a Zerg versus Terran. MarineKing obviously playing Terran. I think I have one game where I accidentally made his front screen into Protoss, but I'm not actually sure. It might just be a mistake on my save file, but it doesn't matter. Anyway, obviously, if you're called MarineKing, then you're probably going to play with Marines, and yeah, then you want to be Terran. So we're seeing the obvious start with supply depots and these nice Overlord thingies, and yeah, sending the Overlord into a general direction of a base. The other Overlord is going to scout as well, but I think he's going to send out a drone scout at some point, because this map is a little bit too large to just scout with an Overlord. On the other hand, maybe he just doesn't need a scout, because he's going for the safe option, going spawning pool first, which means that you don't really need a scout because it doesn't matter what your opponent is building. Who, by the way, is saving up a lot of minerals. So he is going to fast expand here without even having a barracks. So if only he sent out a drone scout, he would have seen this and he would have been able to well, use that to his advantage. Because with no Marines out, no unit out at all, and a spawning pool now coming up, he might have actually been able to win it right there. The barracks are coming up, of course. But yeah, well, the barracks will take a long time to build, 65 seconds as it says, and in those 65 seconds you can build the Zerglings, run them across the map and probably take out this supply depot and just run into the base. But yeah, well, these guys know better, so or you could just take out this command center, which would be good as well. But yeah, I don't think there would have been any defense against that. Obviously, it would have been a 1 in, yeah, let's say a 1 in 10 shot of a drone scout paying off. Because normally people don't do these super risky strategies. But yeah, it does allow him to do 2 barracks and have an economy anyway. So yeah, he has a little bit later first barracks, but he has a much earlier second barracks. Because he knows he can afford the rest, because he has that second command center up. It's going to be an orbital command, and both of them are. And those orbital command, of course, give you a lot of extra minerals, because, well, they provide you with yeah, these guys, the mules. And the mules are normally placed here, of course, if you have a second base, because you don't want your main base to mine out as quickly as possible. You want your yeah, your secondary, so your expansion to mine out sooner, because it doesn't have a lot of mineral, a lot of workers on it. While here, the workers have been working on that for a few minutes already. So plus, it's your main base is your safest base normally, and we will see how that works out. So normally it doesn't matter too much, but still, it's a little bit of detail that some players do. Most players don't really care, to be honest, because it's all about expanding and being aggressive in the later stages anyway. How do I get rid of... Oh, okay, whatever. Couldn't get rid of the selection apparently. Oh, escape, yeah, there you go. That doesn't really bother me that much. I just was wondering how to deselect units, but escape of course does the trick. So the factory is up now, or coming up. It's pretty much up. So yes, it is going to switch places with this guy, and that means that he's going to produce some Hellions and a new barracks going up. He's really going all out on those Marines or something. Yeah, reactor being built. The barracks, these barracks are probably going to have a reactor on them as well, because this one is just for those upgrades, the combat shield and the stim pack. After those are done, yeah, he is either going to build Marauders if he if there are roaches coming in, or he's just going to build Marines and maybe even attach a new reactor to that barracks that we just saw that now has a tech lab on it. Anyhow, it is currently just, yeah, waiting for things to happen. We have a few Zerglings on the map, which is excellent. 14 more Zerglings coming in, and we have some Hellions on the map, which are great against Zerglings. So yeah, they should micro a little bit, because well, losing hit points for no reason is of course not good. He lost 15 hit points for no reason at all. If he microed it a little bit, he would have been fine. Maybe he didn't have the ability to micro that. I don't know. Maybe he was busy somewhere else. Anyway, we're going to take out the structural rocks, get a new base up, and well, with this new base, it should be enough economy to go into roaches or something like that. Something bigger than the Zerglings. He does have banelings because they work really well against Marines, but then again, yeah, most of the time we don't see Marines, or that many Marines, and here indeed we see a lot of Hellions, and actually a lot of Hellions. Wow, he's really building up that Hellion count, and yeah, those Hellions are going to do a great job of just being aggressive against those Zerglings and banelings. I don't know if he's going for the pre-igniter. Normally they don't. No, for now it is all marine upgrades or infantry upgrades. The Hellions are normally just a harass tool, not really something you use to win the game. And look at that, just aggression coming out. But yeah, those banelings are going to get sniped by the Hellions. That's why it's not like the best choice ever. But because we didn't scout properly, we didn't see the Hellions when they came in, and he couldn't switch. So now we're probably going to see a baneling nest or infestation pit first. So you're going for infestors and still investing in those banelings. Of course, banelings will be very expensive in this way now, because yeah, they're not really going to do that much. So there are a few banelings out, and well, they don't have burrows, so they can't really sneak up on the Marines, which would of course be the best if they could sneak up on the Marines and take them out by surprise. That might have worked out better. Here, yeah, as you can see, the Zerglings doing the work. The banelings still not caught up and actually get destroyed before they reach anything. And they didn't even hit those Marines, maybe one of them. But definitely not worth their weight in gold. Basically not worth it to build those, but yeah, well, that's the way it goes sometimes. Normally we see them going into roaches when they see Hellions, but well, you don't have to. You can basically hold it off with Zerglings, but you can't really put pressure on, and that's exactly what we see. We see 3 bases for Terran because there is no pressure. There is no attack coming in, so the Zerg has to go for a 4th base just to stay equal in resources, because Zerg may have well, cheaper units, but you need way more of them. You're going to lose way more of them, so you need to be 1 base up, and that's why Zerg have a cheaper hatchery. So the hatchery is cheaper than the command center and the Nexus by 100 minerals, so that's 25% cheaper. And yeah, that's a pretty big deal, because it allows you to build bases a little bit easier. And finally we have Marauders coming up. And Marauders are going to be awesome against well, any kind of well, weak units. So the basically small units, and these as well. Because banelings, yeah, they do only 22 damage versus the Marauder. They do 39 versus the Marine. That is a big difference. Also the tanks coming in, and he is really building up a very heavy army. So with lots of armored units. And armored units are of course exactly what the banelings can't handle. And the Zerglings too. The Zerglings have some trouble with that as well. And the damage still has to come mainly from those Marines, because Marines are awesome at doing damage. Is he going to pick them up? No, he's not, because all of his medeffects are being taken down. Oh, no. Wow, no fungal growth to finish it off. And so all of the medeffects are going to make it out, but there is no army here anymore. But there's an army at the base. Too much for now. Let's hope that he can actually hold it off. Or not. I don't really care. Someone has to win eventually. But yeah, the tank goes down. Lots of the Zerglings go down. But yeah, that was worth it for the Zerg player. Definitely worth it. He picked up a lot of units. Let's see how we're doing in resources lost. The Zerg player is definitely behind, but as I said, he has that extra base because he knows he's going to be behind in those resources lost, so it's kind of natural to be behind. He is building his 5th base now, whereas the Terran is building his 4th, and that means that the Zerg player is still one ahead, and that's excellent, because that one base is going to make sure that he can actually keep up with the production of the Terran player. Of course, it is going to be hard to deal with, because, well, the further you get, I mean, being one base up 2 versus 3 is, well, a much bigger thing than being up 5 versus 4, or yeah, 11 versus 10 if we had that many bases. But yeah, you can see what I'm trying to say. I'm assuming, relatively speaking, he is getting behind, because his resources, although he's one base up, his resources are not coming in with like a 30% difference or 50% difference in the case of 2 versus 3 bases. His tank is going down immediately, and that is going to cost him quite a lot. But yeah, with the Ultralisk coming out, but yeah, too many Marauders here. The Marauders take care of those Ultralisks in no time at all. Plus they take very little damage from Zerglings and Banelings. And all in all, it's just a great combination, or a great anticipated move. Going through so many of those tanky units when your opponent is just going for those, well, those weak units. Obviously Ultralisks coming in now. And the Ultralisks are going to do extra damage versus armored. They are great against those armored units, but they also take a lot of damage from these Marauders. Are they all get picked up? And are they going to just survive? Yeah, it seems they are. Everyone's going to survive, even the medevacs. I'm picking off another Infestor there. Infestor was out of energy, so it's not like a huge deal. But it is important to note how many of those he picks off. And yeah, clearing out the creep tumors, making sure that there is no movement speed increase, there is no vision there. And just going to heal up his remaining troops. A few Marauders still left from that initial fight, 2 Marines, 4 Marauders. But look at those Zerglings, so many Zerglings. And if the cannons get to do their damage, they don't get picked off immediately, they're going to own the crap out of the Zerg army, and that's exactly what they did. And there you go, the fungal growth going down, a lot of units getting tagged up, but they actually survive pretty healthy. And yeah, the stim pack is of course going to take a lot of that health away, but it doesn't matter. The stim pack is so good at taking down enemy units, and in this case bases, that really doesn't need to worry about losing a few units and getting low even, because the enemy units cannot really reach him. Anyhow, big army here. He got to keep a lot of his medevacs, and look how many medevacs he has here. Oh, come on. Show me all of them. There's 9 medevacs, although most of them are low health. They still heal for the full amount, so it's not like he's going to, or they're going to do anything less. And yeah, this last desperate attempt of the Zerg player to attack completely failed. He didn't have enough. He basically, in my opinion, but I'm not a pro StarCraft player, as you know, he should have gone for roaches straight off. He should have scouted those factory units and gone for roaches, because if he went for roaches and not for Zerglings and Banelings, he wouldn't have lost that early game. He had only one good attack where he could actually attack back after the Terran player had attacked. He got some great damage done there, and at that point they were pretty much equal. But he kept losing fights and losing fights and losing fights, even though his Infestors did a great deal. His Ultralisk never made it work because there were just too many Marauders in the mix. And with Roaches, he could have actually taken out those Marauders, because Roaches do pretty well against Marauders, although they also take the extra damage. As you can see, double damage versus armored. So the Zerglings should do very well against them, in theory, but in reality, really not. So yeah, too many tanks versus the Ultralisk, and because all of the medevacs survived, he was just able to resupply all of his lines with full health Marines, and yeah, just heal up the old ones from the last battle. Great micro, of course, on the pickups and things like that. But anyway, hope you enjoyed, and I will see you next time. GG.